as I can tell, we have the first communist president in American history. Of course, what do you expect him to wear, a Che Guevara outfit? Do you expect the man to put on a red beret and wave a red flag? Are you people that naive? Any European, any ex-Soviet will tell you we have a communist in the White House. But the Americans are so naive that they don't even know what they see when they see it. I'll give you an example. We hear about how good he is for the environment and how good he is for green things and solar companies and things of that nature. Just as in the Soviet Union, gigantic projects were designed specifically to advance the pocketbooks of the bureaucrats within the Politburo. No one really made any, there were no jobs created and no money. So you say, what do you know about Solyndra? That's old news, is it? How about this one? Did you ever hear of the Tonopah Solar Company in Harry Reid's Nevada? Did you know that back in March, the Tonopah Solar Company in Harry Reid's Nevada got a $737 million loan from Obama's corrupt Department of Energy? Do you know this project will produce a 110 megawatt power system and employ a total of 45 workers? $737 million. That works out to $16 million per job under the communist president. But that's only the beginning of the scandal. One of the investment partners in this scam is Pacific Corporate Group, PCG. The PCG executive director is Ron Pelosi, who is the brother to Nancy's husband. Just move along, folks. Just move along, folks, and talk about the president's dog and how good he is for America and how he's our first person who's not a white president. Every American should know how their money is being stolen. This was sent to someone I know on the email chain. It's going around America. Nobody can believe that such naked corruption is occurring and not even being mentioned by Romney. So I'll tell you silly jokes, such as what's the difference between Romney supporters and Obama supporters? That's something even a Democrat can laugh at. Romney supporters sign the check on the front. Obama supporters sign the check on the back. I was culling the news. So then I look up some stories about Obama, and you know I wrote Trickle-Down Tyranny, and I hope you've read the book by now. And I see that even the left, the legitimate liberals, as opposed to the fraudulent progressive folks, legitimate liberals understand that we have a dictatorship. I was stunned to find an article in the Huffington Post dated 3/21/2012 that I must have missed. Martial law by executive order. Even the liberals said that we had a government takeover under Obama. President Obama's National Defense Resources Preparedness Executive Order of March 16th does to the country as a whole what the 2012 National Defense Authorization Act did to the Constitution in particular. Completely eviscerates any due process or judicial oversight for any action by the government deemed in the interest of national security. Like the NDAA, the new executive order signed by the dictator Obama puts him completely above the law, which in a democracy is never supposed to happen. They write, now this is a liberal publication, the United States is essentially now under martial law without the exigencies of a national emergency. They said they can't believe this actually happened under a so-called progressive president. And I laughed to myself. I said, are you people that silly? Are you that naive to have believed that such acts would have been permitted under a conservative presidency? It could only happen under a progressive presidency because progressives are by definition and by nature communists and dictators. The fact of the matter is, you have a president right now and his secretaries have the authority to commandeer all U.S. domestic resources, including food and water. They can seize all energy and transportation infrastructure inside the borders of the United States. Did you know that Obama can forcibly draft U.S. citizens into the military and force U.S. citizens to fulfill labor requirements for the purposes of national defense? There's not even any congressional oversight allowed, only briefings. That's right. They can take you off the street and put you into a labor camp if they say they're doing it for purposes of national defense. But it gets even worse. President of the United States, as a result of the 2012 law, which he passed in the middle of the night, gives him and his agents the right to seize and arrest any U.S. citizen, detain them indefinitely without charge or trial, and do so only on suspicion without any judicial oversight or due process. Now, I could go into the details. It's an exaggeration to tell you that I'm concerned. Or shall I say it's not an exaggeration to say I'm more than concerned. I'm alarmed. The fact of the matter is I warned you about this in Trickle-Down Tyranny. And when this article came out, I missed it. It was written by a liberal blogger, Jim Garrison, Martial law by executive order. I really advise you to read this, and you better read it really carefully to understand that even legitimate liberals understand that we have martial law under this dictator. Going along with his forged long-form birth certificate, going over the fact that he has a total control over the press, going over the fact that there's soon to be a volcano in the Middle East, the fraudulent administration of Obama, along with Pelosi and the Democrat leaders in most states who are now granting amnesty to illegal aliens in the form of fake driver's licenses in California just in time for the election, guarantees that we've lost our democracy in our lifetime. And it happened to you when you thought you had the first progressive president. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a democracy. This is a republic. There is a big difference, and we know that. But what you don't understand is that this NDAA that he signed, the NDAA that he signed, was written in the middle of the night. In the middle of the night. So I have a job to do on this show every day, which is to do it, and to do it with such humor that you listen to it. And so I'm trying to do it with a degree of humor. It's not easy to do, by the way. Martial law by executive order written by a liberal. Obama gave $737 million loan guarantee to the Nevada solar firm tied to Pelosi clan. No investigation, no discussion by the viruses in the media. If you care to talk on this show, you'll get to speak to more people than you've met in your entire life. Now let's go to the callers. Peter, and go ahead, please.
Hey, Dr. Savage. Hey, like you, I'm an independent conservative. I am not voting for Obama. But as far as the, when you were mentioning the martial law examples, didn't George W. Bush put a lot of this stuff in place to begin with?
No, you see, here's the thing. This is how the liberals have confused you and many others. When the Patriot Act was first signed by Bush, the illegitimate left said that all of us are in danger of martial law. What they left out was that there was judicial oversight required for any arrest in the United States of America. Moreover, the original Patriot Act did not give the president the right to kill a U.S. citizen anywhere. Now, move the clock ahead. The dictator from Chicago, in the middle of the night on New Year's Eve, signs the first NDAA, and then in March signs another, giving him absolute power with no judicial oversight and with the power to kill without any regard to the legality of it. He could decide who dies. Do you know this or not?
Well, when you say the power to kill, aren't we referring largely to the Islamist who happened to be born in America, but he was overseas? So if we're talking about taking
are we talking about them? It doesn't say Islamists who were born in America, but who are residing overseas and are threatening us. It says anyone who threatens us, anyone who threatens our national security. So who is that?
Who is what? I'm sorry.
Who is that? Who threatens our national security? Who decides that?
It's a great point. I'm just saying
I'm just telling you how it worked in the ex-Soviet Union. Anyone who threatened the power structure was considered a threat to national security and was rounded up by the secret police and thrown into the gulag. Don't think that can't happen here. Why can't it happen here?
But have they taken an American-grown citizen who lives here right now?
We don't know yet. I don't know who's disappeared that I know of. I don't know of anyone yet. But what's to say he can't do it? He's given himself the power to do it and to seize any resource, to draft anyone at any time, and to conscript them into labor camps if he wishes. It's all in writing. Bush didn't sign this. Obama did.
All right. Well, thank you for clarifying that.
Well, what I'd like you to do is read this for yourself, because I was shocked to read it. I missed it when it came out in March, and it was written by a liberal blogger on the Huffington Post. And I dug it up again, and I was shocked. Now, couple this power madness and these power grabs with the naked bunco coming out of the White House, bunco in the form of billions of dollars in loans, bunco that in any other administration would have resulted in an FBI investigation. By the way, what did the FBI do with all the files they grabbed from Solyndra? Does anyone know? Remember when that happened over a year ago? I said, well, at least we know the FBI is working for us. Someone called me and said, Mike, are you that naive? The reason the FBI swooped in and grabbed Solyndra's files is to make certain that the Republicans in Congress never find out who got the money. I said, don't be that cynical. Guess who was right? It wasn't me. Guess who was right? It wasn't me. Okay, so if you want to talk about these serious questions, I'm here for you. I don't know about you. I've never seen anything like this. the stripping away of our constitutional protections under this gangster regime, and I have no other words for it that would work. The gangster regime has stripped away our constitutional protections because the vermin in the media are focusing on abortion. Little rats, the viruses in the media, the viruses like Wolf Blitzer, are focusing on abortion. They are the most shameful examples of those people who have been assigned the duty that comes with being a member of the Fourth Estate. That is correct. People like myself take our responsibilities quite seriously. Shame on them. Shame on them. John, welcome to the show.
Do you fear that you might be taken in the middle of the night? I'm sure he's got a detail of agents listening to your show. Do you fear this?
Do I fear it? I think about it. I don't know that I fear it.
It's interesting because the way you describe this act, it looks like he might take you in the middle of the night. But I mean, I'll pray for you that doesn't happen.
Well, let's say I'm still safe till the election. Let's put it to you that way. After the election, I might move to Iceland and get a cod fishing boat.
Well,
no, you think it's a joke? I am telling you that people are going to flee this country after this man. If, God forbid, this man steals the second election, he hoodwinked people in the first election. Most intelligent people know who he is. It doesn't matter whether you're black or white. Anyone with a brain knows that this man is a con man and a fraud. But more than that, he's more dangerous than any president in American history.
7.